works, right?
Well, hello there and welcome to another episode of glennzb TV, the show that puts glennzb into your TV. This morning we start with the international striptease, that is Princess Catherine. Because of course, well, we had France and they wanted to publish topless pictures of her. Oh yeah, there's a little map of France there, bikini made of maps of France, oh yeah. And now we've got a magazine in Denmark that wants to go the whole way and take it all off. Yeah, so who knows? We'll follow that story extremely closely. We're going to be looking at that extremely closely. You would not believe how long it took me to make a bikini, construct a bikini out of maps of France and Denmark this morning. And I'm sure you'll agree it was well worth it. We've got a battle line baby. This is odd. Bizarrely, there's a soldier in Afghanistan who has given birth on the front line. She didn't even realise that she was pregnant. And now the Ministry of Defence are saying, even in spite of this, they're not bringing in mandatory pregnancy tests for women, despite this happening. So yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? She apparently she passed the pre-going to battle fitness test, which involved a 5-mile run, even though she was pretty pregnant at the time. So I say, put her on the front lines. She's not to be messed with. This story, it all comes out of the Daily Mail out of the UK. This interesting picture here, I'll just show you. It's subtitled "Emergency Treatment." Bastion's medics are more used to treating bullet and blast wounds than delivering infants. There's a picture there. Obviously not delivering an infant in that picture, because apart from anything else, it seems to be a bloke with a beard and not a mother. Although maybe these people are pregnant, I don't know. They could be. It's crazy times in Afghanistan. All right. Oh, is Mrs. Jesus a fraud? Because we had the story earlier in the week where they found this incredibly old piece of paper before they even knew that paper was called paper, and they called it papyrus instead. And it's a 4th century piece of papyrus, or it might be a 2nd century piece. This is it here. Oh, hang on. I think I might hit that. That way? I don't know, but that's a very bad photograph of the very poorly written scroll there, which apparently it's got Jesus talking about his missus, calling her a disciple. Her name is Mary. So yeah, but now they're coming out and saying no, she might not have actually. I mean, there's a lot of old paper floating around. You know, just because it's got a few things about Jesus talking about his wife, it's not necessarily true. It would be quite useful for Jesus if he did have a wife, though, because he did a lot of travelling, you know, spreading the good news, and it's always helpful to have somebody to give you directions, I find, in those circumstances. So yeah, I hope Mrs. Jesus turns out to be a real thing. On a similar subject, we've got this cartoon controversy that's going on and on and on over the cartoon. I'm not quite sure which cartoon it was. It might have been this one in yesterday's Dominion Post. This is a Tom Scott cartoon with John Banks in it there, and it says, "Mr. Banks, how can you possibly believe you didn't break both the spirit and letter of election campaign finance law?" And then Mr. Banks says, "If you can believe the world was created in 6,000 years ago in 6 days, trust me, this is easy." See, it's kind of like a religious joke there. And of course, this has sparked off Christian protests everywhere. Well, I mean, when I say that, I did get one email but it was actually just an email from my boss saying, "Look how cool it is that he's got ZB on that mic flash down in the corner of the cartoon." So he literally just sits in his office all day looking for that kind of stuff. Hey, it's Feedback Friday, you know it. And so we've got the Facebook stats in, hot off the press. And while the people talking about this is down again, I'm pretty sure we were in the negatives last week, so we've got less than no people talking about us now. But the weekly total reach has gone up 86%. Look at that. Woo! And I think this is largely due to the complicated system of ropes and pulleys I have in my wardrobe for rehabilitation purposes. Don't look at me like that. That's what the grunting and groaning is. And I'm rehabilitating the dislocated. Geez, you've got a dirty mind, glennzb TV listeners. We've also got Judy writing in on the Talk Like a Pirate Day episode this week saying that pirates don't come from Pungapara, which is where I come from. They come from Gore. See what she did there? So that's some pirate talking there. And of course, our very good friend Brian Lomas. Here's an even bigger picture of Brian there, just so you can really take in his full glory. He's my biggest fan now because he actually liked me on the glennzb Facebook page, and he was my 100th like. It was the second time we got to 100, because remember we went to 100 and then somebody unliked me, went down to 99. So second time around, he jumped on in there and became number 100. And when we did the episode in my boss's office, he wrote, "The CEO suite should be your regular TV studio, Glenn. Leather chair, cocktail cabinet for afters, do not disturb sign outside. I like your style, Brian. This is a good idea," and I forwarded that directly to my boss. We also got feedback on the Talk Like a Pirate Day episode we were talking about before. That's me holding up the milk carton there, and here's the feedback down here. And I've just circled a couple of highlights there. We've got Meg saying, "Who cares?" So I liked that, and also Peter down here just says, "Idiot." So I liked that. I think if I can get that kind of comment from every single episode of glennzb TV, if I can get somebody calling me an idiot, my work is done here. This has been your idiot for the week. Thank you very much for having this idiot in your tally.